All cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws and Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jill, joined by my co-host and stationary deity Scout, and today we will be discussing Dawn of the Clans, Book 4, The Blazing Star. Scout, how's it going?
It's going good. So much happens in this book. I'm thinking about it, and I'm yelling.
Yeah. So, we actually have a special guest this week.
We have a special guest?
We do. Sorry, we have a surprise special guest. So, a peek behind the curtain of the podcasting process. Usually, Scout and I will record during the evenings. However, due to traveling plans for both me and Scout's family, we will not be able to do our usual recording time for this episode. So instead, it is the middle of an afternoon in the middle of the week, which means my lovely cat Zelda, who usually when we record at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night is off cuddling with her father, is instead in the office here with me. So she might pop in with her opinion from time to time.
A celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
What would Zelda Cat's warrior name be?
Ooh, I think her warrior name would have to be Claw something. Claw Shade, probably.
Oh, I like that. I was gonna pitch Stinky Whisker.
Stinky Whisker is also very good. Oh, she's flicking her ear at that one.
Oh.
She does not seem to care for it at all.
I'm sorry.
Another good one would be Night Bite, because she does love to chomp and often does so at night.
Yeah.
I recently got back from a trip. I got home, I sat on the couch, she jumped up, bit my hand, and ran away.
Amazing. Incredible. No notes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
This makes it sound like Zelda is, in fact, a very mean cat. She is not. She loves people. She just likes to play a little rowdy with her parents.
You know, sometimes that's just how it's got to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta play rowdy with your parents, as we'll find out in Dawn of the Clans.
Oh my god.
So let's summarize this book and start talking about it, because before we started recording, Scout and I were already chomping at the bit to talk.
I am rattling the cage that I am in. I'm rattling my enclosure. Wait, Jill. Oh, Jill, wait, we forgot. How's the prey running? How is the prey running? This is just a little update, little nonsense corner. Today I have an update on Clan Gen once again, and that is that I'm doing a challenge from the Clan Gen Discord that is called the Royal Blood Challenge. And it's essentially just what if you had a clan, but it was a monarchy.
I love that.
Yeah, there's some stuff in the original rules that I wasn't super hot on, just because there were certain things that you were supposed to do, like if a cat got scarred, you had to demote them. They couldn't be royalty if they had a scar. And I'm like, but here's the thing. Scars are hot. So if I saw a king and he had a cool scar, I'd be like, yo, I respect him more. So I took that out and just kind of altered a couple other things. And basically, it's just sort of a fun role play based challenge where lots of exciting things are happening, such as the court advisor having an affair with the court doctor, with the royal doctor.
Oh my.
We've got one of the princesses wanting to run away with a knight. All sorts of great stuff. Juicy drama, loving it, having a great time. I think that's about what I've got to say about it. Not too much. I'm just enjoying it. It turns out, listen, where's that tweet that's like, I am inherently against the monarchy. However, sometimes cats have royalty and it's kind of fun and cool.
You know what I really like is the way that you and I both have like different approaches to how we play Clan Gen.
Yeah.
Because, Scout, you seem to really enjoy these like tracking the stories of the cats and like getting into the drama. Meanwhile, I'm over here liking challenges where I have to be so damn strategic. I recently completed the 100 kit challenge.
Yes!
Which is much like the Sims 100 child challenge, where your sim is supposed to have 100 kids. This one is your cats are supposed to have 100 kids. If you need to like go to the next generation, then you pick one of their kids to kind of keep going on. And once you have 100 in that selected bloodline, you've completed the challenge. Accidentally played it on hard mode because I thought I misread the rule saying that you could have the same-sex kit option turned on. I thought I misread it as saying it had to be off, so I was playing on a bit of a hard mode.
Oh yeah, that limits your options.
Mm-hmm. But I did do it. It was so much fun. I had a blast. And the next one that I'm doing is called the Mutation Extinction Evolution Challenge. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, the me challenge.
Where cats are randomly given mutations, and then there are these extinction events that you are given hints for, and you have to play through the moon, like trying to diversify your cats in their mutations and get them more mutations and like, you know, things like that, so that when it comes time for the end of that event, you see, well, what traits were positive and what were negative and who survived and who didn't. And I'm having an absolute blast with this one, but it is very involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks really fun, but I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I started to read all of the instructions and I was like, I don't think that I can do this right now. I don't think my brain is like functioning on the level that needs to be utilized here.
It is wild. But I mean, those are the kinds of challenges that I like. These challenges where there's a specific win-loss condition rather than telling a story, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
And I like that there's such a diverse option of challenges in this Discord.
There's so many options. There's so many different ones. I think the thing I run into the most with them is that so many of them are like, at the end of a month, you're going to have to cull a lot of cats. And I'm like, but I don't want to.
Oh, see, I love doing that. It's like, oh gosh, how is this going to affect the way that I have to continue playing?
Yeah, that is good. Sometimes it's just like, because it's the end of the month, there must be a sacrifice. And I'm like, okay, but why? Why? I don't want to.
Yeah, so I think that's our Clan Gen update.
Hell yeah.
As always, please go play Clan Gen. Very fun. Tell us about your clans in Clan Gen or any challenges that you're doing. If you make a challenge, send it, because I would love to play it.
Yes.
But why don't we take a nice little quiz before we head into the summary?
Let's do it.
All right, so our quiz this week is, can you pass this warrior assessment? So we're going to see if we have what it takes to be true warrior cats. What'd you get, Scout?
2 out of 6.
Hey, me too. All right, which question did you get correct? Is my question is what I'm gonna ask.
Answers. I got belly rake correct, and I got the 6th law. Nope, I didn't get the 6th law of the warrior code. I got the Great Sycamore for ThunderClan's Old Forest territory.
Oh wow. Okay, so I did get the 6th law of the warrior code, which is new warriors must sit a silent vigil for 1 night. And the last question is how long their silent vigil lasts, which is until the sun peeks over the horizon. So I got those 2 right.
Yeah, I went for until the first morning bird sounds its song. Both of those I feel like could be, because it's until the sun, it's until morning. It's described in the books as when it's morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, this could be any of several things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess we still have a long way to go before we're warriors.
We got a long way to go.
So do some of these cats. So we're gonna summarize real quick what happens, then we're gonna dive into it because we got a lot of things to say. As always,
paint me a picture.
Book 4, The Blazing Star, picks up immediately after the events of the battle at Four Trees. the cats involved begin the process of burying their dead and beginning to deal with their grief. They agree to meet back there in 1 moon's time as the spirits requested, and on the way back to the moor, Greywing and his group meet some loners who kind of join their group. 1 moon later, Greywing speaks to River Ripple about grief as he's visiting the gravesite. And then at the full moon meeting, the spirit cats are vague and speak in metaphor to the gathered cats to interpret. The first prophecy, only the blazing star can blunt the claw, is given. The cats of the moor prepare for Leaf Bear, but danger is still on the horizon with clear skies, new additions to his group, and the appearance of a new sickness among their prey. The new members of the moor group believe that Blazing Star refers to a plant and take a patrol to investigate, picking up Clear Sky along the way. A new villain rises, a rogue named One Eye, who has uncertain motives and eventually ousts Clear Sky as leader of the forest cats. Fearful of sickness spreading and saddened by losses, the cats begin to kind of split up into these smaller groups. And after One Eye continues to treat the cats of the land harshly, preventing their access to healing herbs, these different groups unite with a plan to drive One Eye out. Unfortunately, they are misled by a beautiful she-cat that Thunder has been growing close to, and the ambush on One Eye turns into a bigger fight, ending with Thunder killing the dastardly rogue. The cats who have taken on leadership roles share a dream soon after this fight with the spirit cats who hint at what is to come, grow and spread like the 5 petals of the blazing star. So, let's talk about the blazing star.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we start off in this book, I didn't mention it in the summary, but we start off with another Greywing having a Stone Teller dream. Hasn't he had one before?
Absolutely. He has had at least 2.
And he's over here acting. This is the first of many inconsistencies in this book. Because he's over here acting like he has never had a dream with Stone Teller before.
Truly. And I could say, peek into the Erin Corner. We're back with Cherith Baldry for this one. So I could say that it's because Cherith Baldry didn't read the previous book, but the thing is, she wrote the first 2 in the series, so I can't really give her a pass.
Yeah. So that first off was my first note on the book. All caps.
Confusing.
Hasn't Greywing already had a Stone Teller dream? Why are we acting like this is the first one?
Similar note. Something I've noticed is they always describe Stone Teller's cavern exactly the same. They're always like the stones come down from above and below and sometimes join in the middle. So it's like looking through a stone forest. And I'm like, okay, I know. I do know that. It's okay. You don't have to keep, we know. We do know.
Yeah. So that
he gets a warning.
Yeah.
Right? He gets a warning from her. She's like, yo, shit's gonna get worse.
Shit's gonna go bad. And he's like, oh, damn. Again?
Yeah, I thought we just fixed that.
I feel like throughout this whole book, there's this pervasive idea of like, when will the agonies stop? Because they're just like, we did what everybody asked. Why? Can we just live? Can we just live our lives?
Every cat is fucking going through the horrors, and StarClan, Proto-StarClan just doesn't fucking care.
StarClan is on their bullshit in these books.
They're so on their bullshit.
It's like all of the cats who speak with them are like, hey, can you maybe like give us a little bit more information? And they're like, you'll figure it out. Even River Ripple at one point is like, hey, maybe a little bit more would be super helpful.
Yeah, and River Ripple is the weirdo.
Yeah.
River Ripple is the cryptic man.
Yeah, and he's even like, hey,
even
maybe
he is like, you guys are being a little bit too cryptic.
Yeah, maybe tone it down a little bit. I am glad that we've kind of dropped the Greywing being jealous of those taking leadership positions plotline.
Greywing just wants to fucking rest, and I relate.
He's like, Thunder's doing a great job. I believe in him. I want to fucking chill. I have done so goddamn much, and I feel like every time that I try and do something, it goes wrong, which, you know what? Credit? Yeah, it kind of does sometimes.
It kind of does.
Not always his fault. Not always his fault, But a lot of things shake out real bad from my poor guy, Graystripe. I'm starting to move him from annoying protagonist to poor little Meow Meow.
He's my poor little Meow Meow. You also did just call him Graystripe.
Fuck! Greywing! Greywing.
Graystripe, a different cat that we do stand. We'll get to him eventually.
Graystripe is my Blorbo of all time.
Rotating him.
I constantly. Yeah, so sorry. Greywing. You know, a lot of things go sideways for Greywing. He just wants to rest. And you know what? He deserves it. He's done a lot. He's been through a lot. And he just is like, please, can I please get a waffle? Can I please get a waffle? Can I just
This man is like maybe 5 years old, and he's acting like he is a 15-year-old cat.
Straight up.
So tired.
Get this man to the Elder's Den pronto.
I do want to point out, I actually really like, so the more cats take in 3 new kind of loners, 3 new rogues. I really like them. I especially really like Mouseier because he's got that air of like the big brick shithouse that's actually just really a nice guy.
He's a himbo.
I just really like, there's this one moment where he is like, is a huge fuck off cat trying to spar with Pebbleheart, and Pebbleheart like cries out for a different reason, and he's like, I didn't touch him. I'm like, oh, you're just a big guy.
Yeah, I thought that their introduction scene was awkward as fuck. Like,
it was
the way it was written was so stuttered and awkward. I was like, it felt like it was just thrown in there so that they didn't skip a moon and you'd be like, who the fuck are these new cats? Because right after they're introduced, it's like, a moon has passed, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted to, the Erin's Hunter wanted to get these new cats in there, and we're like, how? What do we do?
Yeah.
And they were like, just
throw them in there.
There you go. Just good.
They just run into them right after the battle, and we're good.
We're good. We're fine. And
but
don't worry, they didn't see the dead cats. They just know that the battle happened. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I at first I was like, this is so awkward. Is this going to be continuing awkwardness? But I really like these 3 cats. Their names are Holly,
Me too.
Mudpaws, and Mouseier, and I think they are all just such a fun little trio.
They are. They are like a D&D adventuring party that kind of stumbles into being part of this group.
Yeah.
They're like a rogue, a warrior, and a ranger. And they just 100%. Kind of stumble in here.
I do like them very much. They mesh very well with the other cats in the Moor group. I think they're very good.
And I think they bring a really important perspective change that like that group hasn't gotten for a while. They get it, like they got it a little bit with Windrunner and Gorsefur, but in a lot of ways there hasn't been like a, what? Or, kind of like, what are you guys doing? This is like kind of a lot.
And then shortly after this, I have a note. Another mark to the Greywing doesn't understand romance tally, because after that one moon time skip, he sees Holly and Jagged Peak, and Jagged Peak is up in a tree, and Holly is teasing him about not being able to get down, saying like, I'm surprised you even have any paws at all with the way you're acting. And Greywing's like, how fucking dare she? What the hell?
Yeah, Greywing is like, yo, leave my brother alone.
And then Jagged Peak jumps down, and he and Holly are like laughing the whole thing off. And everyone else is like, yeah, Greywing, they're in love. And he's like, why is she being mean to him? Why is everyone okay with this?
Greywing doesn't understand negging.
He doesn't. He's like, he does not get it. Jagged Peak, male wife.
Oh my god, yes. Absolutely. I've just had a thought about Greywing.
Is it Arrow Greywing?
Ace
because
King?
Yeah, Ace King.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking earlier when I was reading it. Ace
Yeah.
King Greywing. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Arrow.
I feel like he's got like some I feel like he
Arrow,
has
because he does fucking love, like when he loves. I think he's demi-romantic, asexual.
He's This cat is 100% asexual. Like
this cat has never understood fucking.
I agree 100%. I think Greywing is an asexual icon, and we should all respect that about him.
This must be part of the reason that I've always identified with him a little bit more than you.
That is very
I
possible.
can smell the ace on him.
Sniffing it out. You're like me. Maybe that's why I like Thunder so much.
Gray wing, gray ace.
We've got it. We've solved.
Connected the two
we've
dots.
Connected the dots, Erin's. But yeah, I just thought that scene was very funny because everyone else is looking at Greywing like, dude, they're flirting, and he's like, why is she being so mean to my boy?
Yeah, it's
so funny. Oh my god, he's such a goober. Yeah, no, 100%. Because I did just remember, also he meets a new cat named Slate, and he definitely is like, for the first time, he is starting to recognize romantic feelings when they first begin to kind of blossom in his heart. He's like, I mean, I just barely know her, but she makes me happy. And I'm like, oh god, he's got a crush, and it's so cute.
And Slate is so nice to him.
She's so nice. He's like, I just feel so useless. And she's like, you're like the smartest guy I know. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god. I have notes later that are about Greywing in his I feel useless era because it got me good.
Yeah.
But my next note here is Clear Sky is a fucking dumbass. I don't even have words for it. What is wrong with him?
I do not know. So like Clear Sky's new members of his group are Tom, fuck Tom.
Fuck Tom.
And One Eye. Fuck One Eye.
Fuck One Eye. Fucking weirdo creepo.
Yeah. So he sees Tom and he's like, oh, hey, I remember this guy. And Tom is like, you should let me join you. I can help. And he's like, the fuck? No, you can't. And he's like, no, I got a friend.
You're like a big schlumpy kitty pet. You can't do anything.
And it turns out Tom's been hanging around with this guy, One Eye, who is immediately bad vibes.
Ultimate scrungless, but like in the worst possible way.
He's literally like, I feel like if the word scrungly was a thing 10 years ago, he would have been described like that.
Yeah,
because he's like ragged, he's mangy,
he's like sticky. I don't know. There's just something about him. He's crusty.
He is unpleasant. His eye is always described as being like disgusting too.
Yeah, he has one eye and it's fucking gross.
Yeah, so it says jagged claws, mangy knotted fur, and one eye. Like, this man does not take care of himself.
Like my dude. Just because you got one eye doesn't mean that everybody else wants to be looking at you. Yeah,
his personality is as rancid as his appearance.
Bad vibes. The vibes are so bad, and Clear Sky is just like, I don't know, it seems fine. My dude.
Oh my god, apparently there is a mistake with One Eye where he is mistakenly mentioned to have both of his eyes in the Blazing Star.
That's so funny! Oh, I love that shit.
But yeah, so he's rancid, and he's like, you're gonna take me back to your place. Because even if you don't, like, I know where it is. And Clear Sky's like, I don't know if I trust this guy. And when I first saw that, I wrote down, is Clear Sky finally suffering for his actions? And then as things progressed, I was like, never mind. I don't think this suffering is necessary.
Not this much suffering.
Yeah.
But I think I have a note here somewhere that is, I don't like One Eye, but I do like that Jill's pull from the first book of Clear Sky should be dead or exiled by now, honestly. Why is anyone listening to him is being brought to light.
Yeah, I am very, like, I dislike this. Again, this is how I always feel about good villains, is like, I don't like you, but I love the way you affect the narrative. I feel like just the way I feel like we finally have a proper villain in Dawn of the Clans, and he's only around for this one fucking book, but
yeah,
he is this is the fucked up shit that I'm here for.
Yeah. And this is why Clear Sky has always, I think the reason that like a lot of the Clear Sky stuff falls flat is because they don't have the confidence to make him bad. They don't have the confidence to like
they wanted, because they knew going in he was going to be Sky Clan's leader. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
I mean,
I know, we know.
Whatever.
We know. They all have Sky. They all have it in their
the
names.
warrior.
We know
they
who
all
they
have
are.
the leader names. So like they go in knowing that he's going to be a leader, and they can't make him evil. So like they have to kind of sow that reasonable doubt, which, you know, I guess I get it, but like you didn't have to do that. You could have just made him evil.
And it's like or you could have at least. They really just. What I saw in the previous book from this one was. They didn't know how to make a sympathetic villain. And so then Clear Sky is just kind of this very muddled character because they didn't take the swing for a sympathetic villain where it's like he's doing villainous things, but you can understand his point of view because they're like, we don't, you know, we only want like. They're not big on morally gray stuff in the Warriors books, I would say. I think there's some stuff in later books that kind of gets in there, but it's very much, we need gray Jedi in this world.
Yeah, you know, I get it. It's a kids series, but like...
Good versus evil.
We could have a little bit of gray morality as a treat, please.
As a treat. Gray wing, gray ace, gray morality. I'm just saying, gray is here.
So back to Clear Sky.
Yes.
I wrote down, because there's a meeting on the border between Clear Sky and Thunder and a couple of patrol cats where One Eye tries to like pull some shit.
Oh yeah.
And Clear Sky literally changes personality from sentence to sentence. There's one where he's like, oh fuck, those kits with Tom were turtle tails? I shouldn't have let him take them. To literally, like, not even a second later, Greywing, you're a fucking pathetic loser. If you were in my group, you would have been kicked out. But just kidding. I would actually accept you if you decided to come in to live with us if Thunder and his group kicked you out for being, you know, useless. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What is wrong with him?
I literally do not understand this man. He makes no sense to me as a character. He is so inconsistent.
He really is here to like drive the narrative forward in whatever way they need him to, and it makes it exhausting to try and figure out what the fuck his deal is. I'm so like I do feel like he goes through a pathetic era in sort of the middle to back half of this book, and I feel like that's the place where he hits his stride for me as a character. Is
100% when he is pathetic. Such a wet blanket. Yeah, when he reaches that pathetic era, then I'm like, yes, now I'm actually like, I'm here for Clear Sky chapters because he is so fucking. He's just like a sopping wet mess of a guy.
Oh my god, it's so true.
Oh man.
We've got some stuff. So the big thing that happens next is the fight with One Eye, Sparrowheart, Tom,
and Clear Sky.
Yeah. So Sparrowheart, if you don't remember, is one of Turtletail's 3 kits. The kits find out that Tom is living with Clear Sky and are very curious and like want to reconnect with Tom. And Greywing is like, why? And they're like, because he's our dad. And I feel like this is a good time for me to bring up my theory, which is I don't think any of the Erin's Hunter have ever experienced a found family.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
There is such a disconnect between like the moments of affection between non-familial cats in these books and the moments of, well, but the thing that really matters is that this one is related to me. Like that matters more than anything else. Like you get like, and it's like I have huge swaths of my family that I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know them. Get them out of here. I don't care. I don't want to know my fucking Uncle Redacted.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want, he's rancid. He's not in my life. Like,
they even, Greywing even like says something about it to the kids. Because one of them's like, well, we just, with mom gone, we don't really have a dad. And then he like looks at them and they're like, well, we love you though. And he's like, bitch, excuse me.
that fucking killed me.
I could not believe it.
Was like, well, but yeah, you're not our, like, and Greywing's like, were you about to say real dad? And they're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Sparrowheart goes because she wants to go meet her dad.
She basically, I guess, Jagged Peak was watching. This is important for later. The Jagged Peak kind of says, okay, yeah, I guess you can go visit Clear Sky's camp.
Because we're all friends now and everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So
she goes, and Tom is not in the camp because he is going to get some sharp rocks for training.
That's right!
He's off to go fetch some sharp rocks so they can learn how to use weapons in fighting. They kind of gloss over that and never touch on it again.
Mm-hmm.
So Sparrowheart's like, I want to see my dad. And One Eye's like, why the fuck do you want to do that? You're a fucking scrawny little child. Someone needs to teach you a lesson. You're so spoiled. And he just like tries to kill this kitten. He like straight up is about to murder her. And Clear Sky's like, okay, well maybe he can teach her a lesson. He could like bop her on the ears or whatever. That's normal and fine. And then he starts like tearing into her flesh. And he's like, oh, nope, let's not do this.
Maybe not.
And
maybe not. And it's like, dude, the writing was on the fucking wall. It was so big
so
in
fucking
huge
clear
red letters.
So
how do you let this happen?
Then Tom comes in, sees what One Eye had done, and he's like fucking pissed. So he attacks One Eye, and One Eye very easily kills him.
Yo, that shit was so fucked up because it's like the other cats are tending to Sparrowheart to try and help stem all of the bleeding.
Right.
And that takes maybe a couple of minutes. And then Clear Sky turns around and Tom is like Tom is splayed out in a pool of blood on the ground. And One Eye is like having a little bath.
Yeah, he's just fucking chilling. He's like, oh yeah, it's totally fine.
Fucking grim.
Then after that, Clear Sky is like, yo, what the fuck? And he's like threatening to kill One Eye, and One Eye's like, you can't fucking kill me. Like, you don't have the guts. And for once, I'm like, please, Clear Sky, kill this man.
Clear Sky, we know you've murdered before. Don't try and fucking deny it. It's in the book.
And he's like, no, I can't kill him. And he just lets him go. He's like, leave. I don't want to see you again.
He lets him go.
This
is why we need to teach people that violence in response to violence is not as bad as violence being perpetrated against you. This is why people are like, don't fight back on the bullies. No, fucking punch your bullies. They deserve it.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks. Punch your bullies. But
yes,
literally though, it's so, and it's very pervasive in this book of like, well, if we kill, then we're just as bad. Because there's even a scene where they're like, well, we can't kill One Eye, we have to drive him out. Because if we kill him, then we're just as bad as he is. I'm like, no, if you kill him, this all stops.
We're not. Exactly. This is the thing. And this happens a lot. But yeah, it's like sometimes people. You just get
in this particular narrative, there is no moral right in leaving this man alive.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Because he, living, continues to perpetrate violence against others.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I was just kind of pissed off. I was like, can we stop pretending that it is moral to not kill someone who is literally trying to kill you? Like, drives me crazy.
Yeah, this is a fantasy book about cats. Like there is a moral code, and it involves being able to kill your villains.
Exactly. So that happens.
Yeah, that was a lot. Sparrowfur is then sort of like has to stay in the forest with Clear Sky and his gang.
This is the start
recover.
of Clear Sky's pathetic era, too.
Absolutely. Yes. He begins to be pathetic. He begins to be like, you know, what have I done? How have I let this happen? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. How have you let it happen? Clear Sky? Kermit sipping tea. I wonder. I wonder how any of this could have happened. Your judgment certainly can't be extreme. Who could have done this?
Who could have done this?
Really a lot. And then there's so then we cut back to the shit happening on the moor.
God, it's so much.
It's so much. So there's a couple of things happening. One, there is a prey sickness that is beginning to infect the whole sort of territory. Not just the moor, in the forest as well, but it seems like the first one to fall ill is one of Windrunner's kittens, another one of Windrunner's kids, Windrunner and Gorstfur.
Can we please stop?
Rough.
Can we please leave her little family alone? I just want them to be happy. Like, if another one of her kids dies in the next book, I'm going to be so pissed off.
Me too. I know for reasons pertaining to, I know the name of one of the novellas, Moth Flight at least is going to make it.
Yeah.
That's all I know. But that's really rough. It's really... And there's some scenes. Windrunner is so barbed. Rightfully so, but it does there's some point where like Greywing is trying to comfort her and she's like, what the fuck do you know?
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. And at the same time, Greywing, this is another moment that I think he's an ass, but also I don't know if this is intended by the authors, but I still think there is really a lot of like interesting stuff going on for me. There's a lot of nuance with Greywing and his chronic illness. Like, he is lashing out in some of these scenes because he feels so out of control of his own health and like his own ability to be present, because this is another situation we talked about last time, how Greywing like slept through the death of his wife, basically.
Yeah.
And this time he sleeps through all of these other things happening. He sleeps through the nobody thinks to wake him when like the prey sickness hits the camp, and nobody thinks to wake him when Sparrowfur doesn't come back, and like nobody goes to him and supports him through, you know, this sickness that he is working with, because he still struggles a lot with his lungs and with like the chronic fatigue that comes from that.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if this was intentional on the part of the Erins, but I think that I'm getting a lot of really interesting readings out of that. And all of this pertains to the scene with Jagged Peak and Greywing, where the whiplash I was getting in this scene. Because first of all, we have Greywing being like, what do you mean you just like let Sparrowfur go away?
Hi.
Zelda cat?
Sorry, I was trying to catch a Zelda purr.
So we have Greywing trying to confront Jagged Peak, and Jagged Peak is like, you know, they're almost grown. There's a point at which you can't tell them what to do anymore. They need to be able to make their own decisions. And Jagged Peak has a point. And also at this point, Jagged Peak does tell Greywing, he's like, he wants Greywing to be the first one to know. He says, Greywing, I'm going to be a dad. And he says, I want to be as good a father as you, Greywing. And that fucked me up.
Yeah. And
that made me go, ugh.
And then later, is it in that same conversation that Greywing is just such a dick and says, you're never going to be a good father? Oh!
Yes, it's the same. It's moments later.
Oh,
and
so upsetting.
the thing is, I was so upset, but also it makes I really liked that scene because if Greywing's daughter has run away and been almost mortally wounded, his Fail son brother is walking here, not Jagged Peak. Jagged Peak is not Fail son. Greywing comes to the Moorland camp and is like, yo, I fucked up. Everything's all fucked up, and your daughter is also fucked up. Everything sucks. I don't know what to do. Tom is dead, and your daughter is very deeply wounded, and I'm pathetic. And Greywing is freaking out, and so lashes out at Jagged Peak for for making the decision to let Sparrowfur go to Clear Sky's camp, and says some just absolutely devastating shit to Jagged Peak that Jagged Peak does not deserve. I thought that it was go ahead.
No. I just was saying I agree.
Yeah. Good family drama.
Yeah,
good emotional drama.
There was a lot of good family drama in this, I feel like. Now that they're finally not trying to flip-flop on whether Clear Sky is good or not, I feel like the family drama is just hitting so much better. Because it is very much like, there's even a moment later on where Clear Sky is heading into a situation where he is about to die, and he's like, if I die here, at least my brother and I made up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was good shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You can't make me sad about Clear Sky. How dare you?
Not allowed.
But yeah, good for Jagged Peak and Holly. God.
Good for Jagged Peak and Holly.
I'm so glad Jagged Peak has a girlfriend.
Yeah,
he deserves love.
He and Rainswept Flower deserved love, but his brother killed Rainswept Flower, so I'm glad that he has found a partner in Holly. And Holly, is that the scene where Holly sticks up for him too? Holly steps between Jagged Peak and Greywing and is like, you do not talk to Jagged Peak that way. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Holly, get his ass.
Good. She does that with Clear Sky too. I think there's two scenes where she stands up for Jagged Peak. And she's just like, hey, shut the fuck up. That's my husband. You have no right to talk to him like that. He is doing
truly
so much. And he really is. He is
Oh, that scene later when he's talking to Clear Sky and is like, I'm getting the fucking nest set up. I'm getting all ready. I'm so excited to take care of the kittens. Oh my
he's
God.
Just so excited to be a dad. And it is he's so cute, so precious. He is straight up he is literally male wifing it. Holly's over here I'm gonna be a bad girl boss until she gets sick. And then Jagged Peak is like, I can't wait. I'm making the house all nice and shit like that. I'm like, oh, he's such a good dad. He's such a good husband.
Oh, a good dad. We love a domestic man.
We do love a domestic man. Get you a domestic man. I have in here, this is just a quick aside. So Greywing, as you mentioned, he's feeling very, what's the word?
Insignificant, inconsequential.
He feels like he is not able to do anything.
Superfluous.
Yeah, he really is feeling like...
He's feeling like if he can't, he either can't do anything or when he tries to do something, it's just making things worse.
Right. And he keeps going back to the site of the battle and being sad and kind of just thinking about, everything that's kind of led up to this. And my guy River Ripple is over here and he's like, dude, what have I told you? Stop hanging out there. It's just going to keep making you sad. If you don't want to be in the hollow and you don't want to be with your brother, come hang out at my place for the weekend, basically.
Yes. Oh, it's very good. Greywing shivering sadly over the grave fucking broke my heart.
And even in River Ripple's camp, River Ripple has a couple other cats who are hanging out with him. Even there, Greywing's like, well, I should hunt so I can help you guys. And they're like, dude, we don't mind catching you fish. Let us feed you. And I gotta say, I'm very excited about seeing where Greywing and Slate goes. I think Greywing and River Ripple is an underrated ship.
I agree. I like this. I saw this in your notes and I said I like it.
I like it. I'm a truther. I think River Ripple, because of course the Erins are cowards. I said it, and they will not make these cats openly gay. I do think they will be bestest friends, and I really look forward to that. But I think that River Ripple is good for Greywing. I'm very glad that they are, like, actually making that relationship a thing, like that friendship.
Yeah, Greywing needs somebody to balance out all of his neuroses, and
Exactly.
Turtletail did that really well.
Mm-hmm.
And River Ripple is taking that mantle up a little bit here, of just like, you just gotta calm down. You
like,
just
okay,
gotta
bud.
like, it's okay. A lot of really good stuff in here, I think, about the feeling of usefulness versus uselessness, the fear, the internalized fear of being useless, the internalized ableism around the concept of not being able, like, if you can't contribute directly, then you're not contributing anything, even when just being a part of the community is the contribution. Good stuff. Good
stuff there. Let's see. Windrunner and Gorsfer end up leaving.
So their kitten who had the sickness passes away. Oh, the scene. Who is it that asks? Is it Tall Shadow that asks what do you want to do? And Windrunner.
It is.
Windrunner says, I want to lay her to rest with the others, and they take her to the mass grave that they dug after the battle.
It's because she wants her to walk among the stars with the others, and it's like,
she wants her to walk among the stars. That she killed me.
Yeah. And Gorsfer being like, they were all like, Windrunner, you can't go off on your own. And Gorsfer's like, she won't be alone. She's got me. And I'm like, he loves her so much.
He loves her so much.
Like, that combined with the bonus scenes from last time, just like, holy shit. If I hadn't had those bonus scenes, I don't think him saying that she won't be alone, she has me, would hit as hard.
It was really like, mwah.
We love it.
The whole thing, the other thing that's really like agonizing through this whole thing with the sickness of the kit, because Pebbleheart, again, my guy, is working so hard to try and cure the sickness and won't let Windrunner close to the kit because he doesn't want her to catch it because it's contagious.
Right.
And all of those scenes where she's just trying to get over to her dying daughter and everybody is holding her back and she's like, but I have to be with her. She is my child. She needs her mother. And everybody is trying to protect Windrunner from also getting this sickness that at the moment is incurable. Fucking kills me. And yeah, she says basically, I've joined this group with you, and literally all it's brought me is heartbreak. I am gonna go live on my own with Gorsfer and our kits, and we're gonna be fine, but I'm not living in the Hollow anymore. I have to do something different.
Yeah.
Hurts
it
me.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot, honestly. Although they are not alone for long. They do soon add Slate, who's a new character, to their group.
Yeah.
I like Slate.
Slate just appears. I like her.
Is the pool that she was showing Greywing, was that Moonpool? No, Moonpool's in the lake territory.
Is in the lake territory.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. She finds like this little pool.
It was just like a
little hidey hole.
It's like a little hot spring because the rocks make the water warm. Like the rocks heat up when the sun is on them and it makes the water warm. And she's like, come over here and soothe your bones.
Yeah, and she cleans his fur. She cleans Greywing's fur after he's attacked by a fox. And she like helps him recover. And she's just very, very sweet. And he's like, I don't know why you had to come back and help me. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And she's like, bro, it's because you're a nice guy and I like you. And you're smart and you do more than you give yourself credit for. And I I love her. She's great.
That's great. Affirmations.
She's so nice to him.
Graywing needs it. My guy
I agree.
needs a hype man so badly. He is so sad in this book.
He's so sad.
So sad.
Now, on the other hand, women's wrongs. Can we talk about women's wrongs?
Mm-hmm. Is this are we on Starflower territory?
We're gonna talk about Starflower. We gotta talk about Starflower.
Oh my god.
We're talking about how all these brothers are having their romances. We gotta talk about Starflower.
We haven't really mentioned Thunder that much in this book, but he is still here.
Yeah, Thunder's still here. He's basically got a leadership position of the Moorcats. He, I still love him as a character. He is not as, he doesn't do as much, I feel like, in this book.
Yeah, this is more
the
like a Grey Wing Journey book.
Yeah, it is very much a Grey Wing book.
With some Clear Sky, but I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed Clear Sky's chapters in this one. I think they were after once he entered his pathetic era, they were good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But so at the first meeting, this gorgeous girl shows up and is making eyes at Thunder, complimenting him, talking about how she's heard about him and how hot he is and how strong he is and how
so
cool
funny.
he is. And he's just like, uh-huh. He's like, fucking, oh my god.
They literally do the joke where his voice cracks at one point.
know. That was so fucking funny to me. Yeah, he has a voice crack and everything. So he is immediately smitten by this mysterious girl that shows up, and Lightning Tail is in the background. They always mention Lightning Tail being in the background looking at her like, bitch. And I'm like, yes, it's because Lightning Tail is in love with Thunder. Thank you.
Lightning Tail is in love with Thunder.
So
I don't think I put this noted, but I know that I did write a note that was like, Lightning Tail here to try and save Thunder from heteronormativity.
It's true. He even says one time, he's like, what, are you jealous? And I'm like to Lightning Tail,
yes.
like, Thunder, what do you mean? I know what you are.
He is jealous.
Yeah, so it turns out this girl's name is Starflower, and it's because her eyes are so pretty like the blazing star flowers.
It's said even specifically, I think she claims that her pupils are star shaped.
Yeah, she does.
Are you?
It's
ma'am?
so fucking funny.
Are you?
This
cat is a Mary Sue.
She is every DeviantArt warrior cat OC.
Self-insert cat OC. Yeah.
So her name is Starflower. She's gorgeous. She's very into Thunder. Lightning Tail doesn't trust her. And she keeps trying to get with Thunder and get him alone. She even takes him, wink wink, to her secret garden.
Oh my god.
Tell me that isn't a euphemism.
That really is a euphemism. Fucking killed me.
Yeah, so she takes him to the secret garden and shows him how beautiful it is, and they talk. And my poor boy Thunder, he gets played so bad by her. Turns out,
never has a con been run so efficiently.
Truly. Because he's like, here's our whole plan for taking down One Eye. Do you know him? And she's like, yeah, I've met him. And he's like, perfect. So you know how bad he is. Anyway, here's our plan. He doesn't even give a chance to see her response. And that was the second I knew that shit was bad. I was like, at first I was like, I don't know if I trust this girl. And the entire time I'm like, I was thinking that her whole angle, because she was talking about how the Blazing Star herb is a healing herb, I thought she was, separate from One Eye. And while One Eye is trying to fight everybody, I thought maybe the Blazing Star herb is poison and she's just trying to kill everybody. That was my theory until she's like, yeah, I've met One Eye. And then Thunder does not see what her reaction is. He does not comment on her reaction. He just immediately jumps into saying, well, then he's a bad guy, and here's our plan to defeat him. I'm like, oh, fuck, she's with One Eye.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is another thing that I was spoiled on accidentally, so I didn't have any theories. I like hearing your theories, though.
I'm glad. Lo and behold, Starflower, this beautiful, beautiful girl, is One Eye, Mr. Crusty Musty Supreme, is his daughter. And she told him the whole plan that Thunder told her. And so when they show up to ambush One Eye, all of One Eye's crew comes charging in and chases them away.
Yeah.
And like
one of the I want to note real quick just a thing that I love across this whole series is whenever there's like a weird crusty cat, somehow like a dozen other weird crusty cats come out of the woodwork to be his cronies.
It's so true. It's like the crustiness just like attracts
like
crustiness.
Where were y'all? Why are
Where
you
are
here?
all these crusties coming from? It's so true. It's like, I mean, I guess they do kind of hand wave it with like he lived on the other side of the Thunder Path, which they don't go ever until now.
Yeah, they don't really
So,
go
like,
over there yet.
I guess that makes sense. But
Extremely funny moments with the other side of the Thunder Path, which is all of the marshy area that will eventually be Shadow Clan territory.
Oh my God.
And Tall Shadow is going there and is just immediately like, wow, it's so beautiful here. I just feel like I'm home. It's
and
like,
all the others are like, this place sucks. And we're like, okay, you're pulling it on a little thick.
We get it. You're putting it on a little bit thick. We don't need all that frosting. It's enough slices.
I will say I do appreciate that, like, for being seen as a more villainous clan for so much of the actual other series that I've read, it's really nice to know that, like, Tall Shadow, who will become Shadowstar, is, like, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, she's just like a nice cat.
So that makes me feel good. At the very least, that it's not like this clan has always been evil.
Yeah,
which is not true, obviously, because I know that there are other Shadowclade cats in the past who have been like very good cats, but it just feels like they are very easily made out to be a villainous group.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think they've been trying to backtrack since basically since the probably second series, but end of the first series into the second series, they're like, we can. There's good stuff. Yeah. There's some really interesting stuff that goes on with Shadow Clan in the later series that I'm excited to talk about eventually.
Oh, wonderful. But yeah, so Starflower reveals herself. Thunder is understandably distraught, and there's a fight. Thunder kills One Eye, and then we're left with two weird anticlimactic chapters at the end. Yeah, I don't know if you... Really I noticed that you also said the end was weird, and I also think the end was kind of weird.
Yeah, like, it was just kind of weird and anticlimactic.
I feel like it makes sense why those chapters would have to happen after One Eye being killed, but they just don't feel like they fit the flow.
Yeah, the drive at that point was a lot about getting the flowers to treat the sickness, because Holly gets sick. Petal and the kittens that Clear Sky killed their mom in the second book, if you remember.
Petal dies of the sickness, and sick. The kits are sick.
Yet another woman to die for Clear Sky's growth. Just ticking those tallies. We got 3 of them now.
They're all in the fridge.
All of them in his fridge. His fridge is full.
His fridge is full of cats.
But yeah, so that it's also very like, she didn't have to die. They could have. It's moments later, basically,
literally,
get the medicine.
Yeah, and
it's not because that was the first time that we found out that she was even sick. So it wasn't. There wasn't even a. It wasn't like they just missed. It was like the opportunity. It's like she's
now
sick?
She's sick.
She's dead,
and now she's dead. Yeah, it was
okay, and
the pacing just felt so off. And it kind of makes me wonder if they have a limit of how many chapters they can have.
I would assume so. I feel like they all have to be around the same length.
If they had, 2 more chapters to pad that shit out, I feel like it would have hit even a little bit better. But I don't know. The ending felt really flat to me.
Yeah. Which
because
like the middle was so juicy.
Yeah,
I really was like, could not put down the book in the middle. But then we got to the end and I'm like,
I was like,
okay.
One Eye died and I guess Thunder killed him. It's not really specifically clear.
I believe if you look on the wiki, it says like it says like Grey Wing and Thunder and Clear Sky and like sort of puts it as a group effort.
Yeah. But it does say Thunder manages to land the killing blow on the wiki. Because they're all pinning him down and he's like, no, he's mine. And then he takes him out.
Killed by Thunder, Grey Wing, Lightning Tail, and Cloud Spots, apparently. Cloud Spots was involved.
Yeah, Cloud Spots was there. He was helping hold him down with Lightning Tail.
Fuck yeah, Cloud Spots.
Yeah, so, like, but it's not even, like, he dies off screen, basically. So even that climactic moment is just kind of like, whatever.
I'm curious if that's another thing where when it comes to protagonists versus antagonists, if they didn't want to sort of dwell on Thunder killing the villain because killing bad.
Killing
quote unquote
bad. And I think Thunder was the one originally
I say quote unquote
Yeah. I think wasn't Thunder originally the one who didn't want to kill him?
Yeah, which
it could have been really good to see that.
There.
So I did look up him on the wiki, and in the trivia section, fun fact, for those of you who know, you know. Those of you who don't, you don't. You'll find out later. Apparently, Kate believes or has stated that it is her personal belief that One Eye is the founder of the Place of No Stars.
Oh, that makes big sense to me. I like that.
Yeah. So, which I
think makes sense considering
feels appropriate considering StarClan has been formed, and he is like the first big bad that they have to face.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes that a lot. Sense. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, we'll get into the depths of the Place of No Stars later, but basically it is Cat Hill.
It's Cat Hill. It's so there's oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of juicy
so much
stuff
that happens.
So that's basically it. They all have that shared dream where it's like, hey, if you didn't know already, these guys are going to be the leaders of the 5 clans. And Grey Wing is there also, which does make
Grey Wing is there also, which is very funny to me.
It's very funny because it's like all the leaders and Grey Wing's here, and it makes me interested to see like what Grey Wing's role is going to be in the last 2 books of the series.
Yeah, because I feel like they're setting him up to be
sort of an in-between for all of them.
They're drawing a lot of parallels between him and Stoneteller, which is weird because he's not a medicine cat and he's not really a leader, but they're still drawing these parallels to Stoneteller. So I'm curious to see if there is kind of something there or not.
Yeah, I'm curious about whether or not he's going to be kind of like, you know, I don't know how, because I haven't read Code of the Clans in a long time, and I'm kind of waiting to read it until after we finish this series, because it's all about like, hey, this is why we have this law in the Warrior Code. But like, I feel he almost feels like somebody who's kind of going to be an in-between for the clans and StarClan until medicine cats as a thing are established.
Right.
Because he's the one who at the end is like, oh, I know what they mean by spreading out like the petals. And then that's our cliffhanger. So that...
Spoiler alert, it's going to be that it's 5 clans.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But he also feels like he could be kind of someone who is not going to live with any of the clans. He is going to live on his own and kind of be a sort of in-between for all of the clans, acting as like an ambassador or a mediator of some sort.
Yeah, mediator is something that is introduced much later in the series.
I didn't know that was a canon thing. I thought that was just a clan gen thing.
So it is in, I believe the most recent to completed series is when we get mediators.
Interesting.
Tree, who is a guy that I think you will love eventually, is the first mediator and the only mediator so far.
Interesting. Okay.
But it is a cat who is supposed to act as the sort of impartial middle ground between different disputes. To varying degrees of
success.
Working
yeah,
success. But I would be interested to see, because this series was before those series came out.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that we're describing what we would like Grey Wing to become here is very much similar to what ends up becoming the mediator.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if it's like a position that was around and then is lost to time, that sort of thing. Bonus chapter. Did you read the bonus chapters this time?
I did read the bonus chapters. Quiet Rain is coming!
Yeah, Quiet Rain and Tall Shadow's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Are headed
Sun Shadow. Everybody's got a fucking shadow in their name. Shout out to our deadbeat dad, Moon Shadow. They got a theme and they stick with it, you know?
Yeah, you know what?
Rest in peace.
Love it. It was interesting. Like, it was a nice teaser for like, hey, more cats are coming, but like other than that, it was not very thrilling.
Maybe an ice cold take, maybe a very hot take. I'm just not big on the tribe of Rushing Water.
Oh, see, I like the tribe, but I also don't think that there's enough about them. They're not a
favorite of mine
to really. I enjoy them, but I like SkyClan more. Mm-hmm. I'll say that.
That's fair.
Like of the non-4 core clans, SkyClan definitely is like above the tribe for me. I am glad to see Quiet Rain coming, though.
I'm excited about Quiet Rain. I'm excited that she's gonna come fucking knock some sense into her sons, hopefully.
Yeah.
Most of them are doing fine.
Yeah, they're doing better now.
They're doing okay. But I'm excited because they've all been so sad that, like, it's been a core sort of thing that they come back to in the books, that, like, they all really miss their mom and are very sad that they're not going to be able to ever see her again, according to what they think. So I'm excited at the idea of Quiet Rain coming to the clans.
Yeah, I am very excited about that.
Very good shit.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about this book.
No, I'm good.
We've talked quite a bit about it.
We have.
Would you like to take us to the Erin Corner?
Yeah, let's go to the Erin Corner. I don't have too much this week specific to the Erin Corner. I did say earlier we are back to Cherith Baldry for this book. I believe that the 5th and 6th books are going to be Kate Carey again. We shall see how that goes. Little fun fact about Cherith Baldry, I did go to her Twitter, and there are 5 tweets. All of them are about a self-published book called Brutal Terminations. And it's just 5 tweets saying from 2018, 5 tweets from 2018 saying, hey, go check out my book, Brutal Terminations. And that's it. And I think that that's incredible.
What a time.
Really, really incredible social media presence.
Yeah. Most authors should aspire to have that kind of presence, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it for the Erin Corner. Interested to see. I feel like we got some higher highs in this one. Mm-hmm. Still some weirdness with characterization.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of characterization.
I liked this book better than the first 2 books in the series. And that could just be that, you know, we've come into the characters and stuff, but I think that this is my favorite of the 3 that she has written for this particular series.
I am 100% with you on that. Oh, man. So, we're going to share some tongues here. We're going to take a little look at what the folks are saying. I did a little bit...
Give me the goss.
I did a little bit more of a deep dive into the fics this week. I did not read any of them. One of these days I will have the capacity to read something that isn't manga or a Warrior Cats book for this podcast. I will delve into some of these fics because some of them do seem very, very interesting, actually. Scout, I just saw your note. There are 8 fics that are tagged as featuring One Eye.
I've written a note here. 8 people wrote about One Eye. Sickos.
I just think he's a fun villain, and that's, I think, part of one of them.
He is
as I mentioned, one of them is a fic. I believe he is in Place of No Stars, and he and several others torment another cat who has just come there, which I think is an interesting idea, and I kind of want to go read that one. There are 13 fics that have Starflower tagged as a prominent character. Only one fic on AO3 specific to Blazing Star. Once again, it is the rewrite of the Dawn of the Clans series as people.
Oh god, that's right. I keep forgetting about it. It's every time I'm surprised again.
There is a Thunder and Lightning Tail fic that I found. Because I am a Thunder and Lightning Tail shipper. And the tag on that says, if those cats can be religious, political, and do war, they can also be gay. And I think that's how I aspire to approach this series. I also found 4 fics tagged with the relationship of Clear Sky and Starflower, which I thought, that's really weird. Why is that a thing? And quick spoiler alert for apparently the next 2 books. Scout, would you like to share what you found when you were doing your research?
I would love to. So I was doing research. I don't remember why, but I was on the wiki, as I sometimes am, clicking through to various cats. And I clicked on Clear Sky, and I noticed that his mate was listed as Starflower. And I said, excuse me? And I looked at this and I said, I cannot believe this is happening again. I cannot believe that
Clear Sky just constantly takes his male family members' romantic interests.
His firstborn son. He is taking the ex, essentially, of his firstborn son. Is his dick that strong?
He does not have the kind of charisma to be pulling chicks like this, is the thing.
Absolutely.
I will say
rank.
I will say one of those fics that I found was Starflower girl bossing and like killing Clear Sky in order to take his power. So like, you know what? Okay, I can accept that.
Okay. Yeah.
Another fun tag that I found, which I love. This is my approach to Dawn of the Clans. If I were to write a fic for Dawn of the Clans, this tag, fix it fic, except I don't fix anything and only make Clear Sky worse. And I'm like, oh, you get me.
He would be better if he was worse.
Exactly.
He would be a better character if he was a little bit worse. I agree with this.
Yeah, once again on Tumblr, it's so difficult. First of all, Tumblr's tag system is atrocious.
It's so bad. It's good when you have a like internal tag system on your specific blog that you use, but trying to just search Tumblr generally, horrid.
It's atrocious. So one of the things I was finding a lot of as I scrolled was Star Trek and in combination with weed posts. So there was a lot of that under Blazing Star, which I guess I get.
I get it.
There was not a lot of warrior stuff, except I did find a couple of little gems. One is this meme where someone drew Starflower with her star-shaped pupils, and it just says, normalize sending me $100 for being pretty. And that's basically her character summed up. The next one is somebody doing a live reading, and Starflower arrives, and they say the Gaslight Gatekeep girl boss herself arrives. So true. And then there's a lot of comments about how there's a very consistent narrative in this book of everybody talking about Thunder's big paws.
I did notice that when I was reading, and I forgot to make a note, but they do be literally saying,
always talking about how big his paws are.
Do the you know what they say about big paws.
Like, I think that combined with the Secret Garden is literally the Erin's. I'm gonna full tinfoil hat conspiracy. Fun. They're definitely like, maybe if we toss this in here, if we keep talking about how big his paws are and how Starflower takes him to her secret garden, they'll get what we're saying. What we're saying is that they had sex. So do with that what you will, dear listeners, but I'm maintaining that is what was going on here. Because otherwise, I just do not understand why they keep talking about his big paws. Literally,
It's
they're
so
like, your
funny.
paws are so huge. And that's like one of the things that Starflower says she's heard about is like how big his paws are.
I know.
I'm like, the fuck
It's
are you
so
saying?
silly.
It's so
Why are you
wild.
talking about him? I think even Greywing at some point in this book is like, he's grown into those big paws of his. Like, oh my god, stop it.
It's so
Stop talking
wild.
about him feet.
Him big Pete's. Now, I will say my
Pete's.
my dear friend Julia, who I visited this past weekend, she has a big orange cat, and he does have some big ass paws.
You know, that is
which
fair.
I do comment on every time I see him. So I guess I can't say that I blame
Shout
him.
out to Julia, by the way, friend of the show, Julia. We
Julia,
love
mwah, love you. Thank you for dealing with all of my Warriors bullshit as it has resurfaced.
you.
But yeah, it is so funny to me. So that was like the one thing that I took away from the Tumblr post is like several people were like, why do they keep talking about how big his paws are? So I just thought that was funny. But other than that,
That's
there's
very
not really
good.
a ton of not really a ton of stuff on the Tumblr tag, which, you know, not surprised. I'm sure there'll be more for other books.
I'm excited to, once we get into like these series that really have a lot of nostalgia in the community. There's going to be so much stuff, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean it is time for Warrior Cat of the Week?
I think it does.
It is my turn to go first. And I gotta say, my Warrior Cat of the Week, he's been a runner-up for quite a while. Finally gonna be it. It's River Ripple.
Oh my god, Scout.
Why are we the same person?
I don't know, but this is so fucking funny to me. He's also my Warrior Cat of the Week. I was like, I could have sworn I thought you were going to pick Slate.
Oh, no, Slate didn't make that big of an impression on me. I liked her just fine. She's very cool, but she was not the one that was really sticking out to me. It was River Ripple. Cuz this man is just smart and calm and is a presence that is clearly needed with all these fucking doobuses.
Yeah. So the one thing that like cinched it for me to finally make River Ripple my Warrior Cat of the Week, which, you know, he had to be at some point. There's no way he couldn't for me.
Mhm.
There, at the very end, even though I didn't really care for the way the scene was, like the way the ending was kind of slotted into the book, at the end, when they are having this conversation with the StarClan cats in the shared dream, Thunder notices that River Ripple, who has been sort of kind of all detached, very aloof the entire series so far, very hard to read, he is looking around and he has wonder in his eyes and he is showing like pure emotion. And I was like, fuck, I love him so much. And that scene just
He's
like
such
that
a
is
good guy.
that scene really stuck with me. The scene where he tells Greywing that he shouldn't go back to the grave because it's just making him sad, and like he shouldn't dwell on it. They're not there. They're in the stars. The way he invites Greywing to come stay with him when he's like having a rough time. I just love this guy. He's my favorite boy.
He's such a good boy. And the moment of like him saying it's time for you to go back and talk to your kids again is also very good.
Yeah.
When Greywing is like, okay, I got to go back to the Hollow on the moor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's just so good. We stan River Ripple in this house.
Yeah, we love him.
I think that's
really good.
One of these days we'll have a different cat.
We in the first episode we did, and then for the preceding 3 episodes we have had the same Warrior Cat of the Week. Listen, sometimes you just know who it is. Well, we know that once we get into the Into the Wild and that series, is the thing is that it can be different as long as you don't pick Brackenfur, then you'll be good.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for how much I love Brackenfur later on. If you like Brackenfur, or have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws, as in what a cat has, claws, as in the part of speech, pod, as in podcast. We are also on Twitter at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. You can find me on Twitter or Tumblr at HumbleGoat, and you can see the art I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com. Links to my portfolio, as well as my Ko-fi page, are in the show notes as well.
And you can also, unfortunately, find me on Twitter at plot_twists or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss Dawn of the Clans, Book 5, A Forest Divided. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.